So the sales and marketing activities are quite significant in hospitality, and it's a changing landscape. So the marketing and sales activities keep on changing hotel by hotel. Some hotels are focusing on certain segments, so they will have higher expenses on the ways to reach those segments. So if it's walk-ins, mostly public rack business, then they would be most focusing on the branding, digital marketing, on PR, on influencer marketing, rather than less on the other type of expenses. So first we will look at the expenses, that are different type of expenses are there, and then we would probably look into the which type of expenses are more when you are targeting certain segments, and when you target certain segments, where those expenses will be going. So the first segment, first expense, as in any other department for the sales and marketing, is again the salary and wages. So salary and wages, as in other departments, is also divided into management and non-management here. So here, this department will usually include the director of sales and marketing, all the event managers, event sales managers, the management level, uh, communication managers, or director of communication, director of event sales, or PR, or digital marketing manager, revenue manager, so to speak. So these departments are coming into the cost of sales and marketing. Now, certain hotels are now have started to practice that the revenue management is part of the executive office, means it's managed directly by the general manager rather than the director of sales and marketing. So in that case, usually nowadays some hotels have started to practice that the cost of the revenue director will be part of the executive office, i.e., the general and administrative office under his command. And certain hotels, just only the administrative responsibility is towards the executive office GM, but the actual cost is booked in the sales and marketing expenses, sales and marketing department. Then the other department, which is generally maybe a difference in different hotels, is the reservation department. Most of the hotels is reporting to revenue manager or to the director of sales and marketing, and the cost is also going to to the sales and marketing department. But certain hotels where they may not have, they may be a smaller department, and the reservation job is taken by the front desk or by the somebody sitting behind the front desk. So in that case, the cost of that reservation person usually is going into the front office because he may be multitasking. That is for smaller properties. But for larger properties where they have a proper reservation setup, the cost will usually be recorded in the sales and marketing department. So is that consistent with your with the accounting treatment that you have in your hotels? Have? Do you have any idea about that?
Yes, sir. It's consistent. So revenue management and reservation, everything with it will all fall under sales and marketing.
Hmm. 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 But sometimes the administrative responsibilities are also wired through the either front desk or through the GM, right? So, and usually the sales and marketing department may have different setups. So it may have a events department separate, which if the hotel has a bigger event. So in that case, usually the it's better to split the cost, non-management cost, between the pure sales, who is just doing the corporate sales, the agent sales. Their job is just to go and sell based on certain rates and the leads. And there are event managers who are handling the events or selling the event. So that's called event sales and event management team, which is a separate team in many hotels. They may not have it. So in order to compare better, you may want to separate the cost of the sales, pure event sales and event management, And sometimes the hotel have then the reservation department and marketing services. So there are sometimes the bigger hotels have specialized peoples for doing the distribution management, because they may have a very different type of channels. Some may be connected, some may not be connected. And marketing services, which is where their job is to just analyze the data and create the information dashboards for the sales managers or revenue managers or the director of sales to take decisions based on those reports, and also create the intelligence or the forecasting reports from that. And then there will be digital marketing team. Nowadays digital marketing is quite in focus for every industry, in not only the hotel industry. So there's usually quite a large team sometime for a bigger hotel. So there may be a digital marketing manager, the graphic designer, there may be a SEO company if they are not hiring from outside. In that case, the cost of the, if they, let's say they hire out freelancers or they hire the outsourced labor, where they are generating for doing certain things like for graphic designing, for SEO. In that case, the cost will be going into contract lease and outsourced labor, because you are just practically asking them to do things based on your requirements. Unless the agency is providing certain other tools and other benefits uh, included in the service. So that's the contract lease and wages. Then you have the other general aspects of the labor, bonus, payroll related expenses, which we have already discussed in other departments as well. So we will go directly to the other expenses. So the in sales and marketing, you will have new lines called agency fee. So this agency fee is the fee that you are paying to advertising agencies and public relation agencies. So normally what happens is that you hire a PR agency or advertising agency. You tell them that okay, we're gonna spend on, let's say, search engine marketing. You want to place the Google ads, but since the hotel may not have capability to do the Google ads by themselves, they may hire an agency and say we want to spend, let's say, $5,000 on the Google ad in this month. And the agency can will charge you certain administrative fee to manage the performance, to search, to take the bid, to do the manage, to create the ads, to create the copyright. So the agency will add up certain percentage on the spend depending on the level of spend. And the expenses will be together, so they will bill you together. But then in that case, here in this code, account code is just the fee, agency fee that you are charging. Sometimes you may not be spending money, but you may want to do a press release, so you may hire them as a retainer. The PR agencies, which are doing job for you, means they will create the press release and they will distribute it out to the newspapers or to the other agencies. So that's called the agency fee. So they are agents, your agents to do things on your behalf for a fixed fee or for a variable fee. If you think anything inconsistent with your practice, please bring it up so that we can discuss. And the cluster services are usually the same services as we discussed in other departments. There may be a cluster of sales, there may be a cluster of event management, there will be a cluster of digital marketers, where the cost can be allocated to the different hotels. If the cost is easily identifiable, then you will charge that to the relevant heads. Otherwise, it will just be a allocation of the consolidated allocation in this line, cluster services. Then you have collaterals. Every hotel is printing the brochures, salesperson kits, maps, floor plans, similar material, which is to describe the property services. Now, this is this collateral material will also include the designing fee if you are paying any designing fee for the brochure, the printing fee. Nowadays, you are trying to do the digitalize the collateral material. So the app and the other type of expenses will go to the IT department. If there is an app or you have developed any app, then the cost of that subscription fee will go to the IT services under the sales and marketing. If it's just only a website, you have created a PDF and there's a design fee, or you have created a website and hosting the fee, then that cost can be in the collateral material because that's not IT services. Those are additional things. So it will include the designing fee, the printing fee of the materials, collateral materials. Then you have the complimentary services and gifts. The sales and marketing usually is giving the annual gifts on the festivals. So all those things are charged to the complimentary service and gift if they are given by the sales and marketing department. If they are given by front office, then it will go to front office. It will if they are given by the accountants or by the GM. So whoever is giving these gifts to the VIPs or to the guests, the cost will be charged to that particular department. So the complimentary services and gift for sales and marketing will be when they go to the groups, when they go to see a potential client, the annual gifts, the festival gifts, or the any other branding things like keychains, t-shirts, diaries, mugs. Those all cost will be charged to complimentary sales and complimentary services and gifts. Then you have contract services in the sales and marketing department. Here again, the if we have done any contract, for example, the retainers that we are charging for sales representation, right? Or there is maybe revenue management services which we have outsourced, or there can be digital marketing agencies, there can be SEO. If it's a complete agency, you have to charge them for the complete digital marketing to design and to carry out the programs. Then in that case, the cost of that service is going to be in these contract services. You have corporate receivables, which we have already discussed. Decorations is usually in the office, on the in sales and marketing offices. So you are not, it's not only it's not in the hotel decoration that is charged here, just only in the sales and marketing office. You have direct mails nowadays. You will have less direct mails, but in certain countries, the post mails are still famous. The by the stamp post, and nowadays, the to send an email, you usually have to subscribe to email blasting softwares or to find the emails services. So you may have to find the emails for prospects. So there are subscription charges for those services, right? So you will be charging the cost of that direct mail, whether it's the printing of the letters or postages, or is the software cost. I mean, the internet, the e-blast softwares, which we normally you don't have to subscribe them, you just have to pay them as you go. So you may want to send 10,000 emails. This company may come up and say, okay, we will be charging you 10 cents a email, because you cannot send bulk emails from your regular email softwares. You have to use the bulk email software providers to send. Otherwise, the Google or any other web provider is gonna block the domain of your company, of your hotel, if you try to send like 200, 300 emails an hour, more than that. So it will block it immediately as a spam. Then you have dues and subscription, which is sales and marketing is usually a member of a lot of chamber of commerce, a lot of associations, the golf courses, so that they can entertain the guest, or they can read the magazines, or they can meet the guests. So those all cost will be dues and subscription. It will be charged here. Entertainment in-house, if they are treating in the lobby, in the restaurant, in the spa, of the business clients of the property, then they will be considered as entertainment in-house. Equipment rental for is sales and marketing usually is renting only the printers or the cars sometimes, but for like going on a day out or trip, so that cost will be in this line. Then you have familiarization trips, which is usually the agents or the event managers, where we call them in to our property and familiarize them with our hotel. So the cost of meals, cost of accommodation, if sometimes you are paying for accommodation, let's say the certain management companies where the owner may not allow the familiarization trip, so you may have to pay certain fee, certain on an internal rate. So you may be charging that. The cost of travel, if you are sponsoring them the traveling expenses, ground handling expenses, and meals and any other services that we are providing them on that familiarization trip. Sometimes the hotels host international fam trips, right? So in that case, the cost of coming in, if we are absorbing the cost of coming in this those fam trips from international agents, then the cost will also be included the international airfares or the stopaways uh, charges. So nowadays, I think in the coming scenario, the cost of familiarization trip will be less. Nowadays, we have virtual familiarization events where you may be inviting agents and showing them around the property with the 360-degree videos, or the virtual events. So if you are paying if you are paying the fees or hiring any agency to do it, then the cost of that will also be going into this line formulation trips, so that you can compare how you have been doing in physical and the digital ways. Then you have franchising and affiliation marketing. If we are franchising with any other brands, if we are paying any brand management fee or affiliation marketing, so that's the cost. Then royalties, especially the where the chain marketing companies are, where the chain hotels are here, international hotels. So those royalties that we have to pay for the branding, the name of the property, or the national advertising fees, everything that we are paying is gonna be charged to this. But the room reservation expenses will be going into the room department, the reservation, which is usually based on number of bookings or number of revenues. But if it's a fixed fee, then it's going to be charged here. So usually the management contract of the big companies comes up with a lot of charges, individual charges, right? The franchise fee, then you have the certain percentage of revenue as a group advertising fee, like a national advertising fee. Then booking fees is not charged here. Booking fees is charged to the rooms reservation department. But the other type of fee for licensing, branding, and broad advertising, it will be charged here. Then you have in-house graphics, which is the cost of in-house directory, signages, brochures, with the merchandising of the property on the property will be charged to this line. So it can be the LED boards, it can be the directional signages, it can be the software which is we are managing to display the event. So sometimes some of the hotels are paying subscription for those events of those softwares. The cost will be charged here. Then the quite a bigger expense on the sales and marketing department is loyalty program. So if let's say you are part of Accor loyalty program or Starwood or any other company, there is a fixed fee that you have to pay for any member who is coming from those loyalty program to the hotel. You might have to pay 2%, 3%, 5%, depending on the company, how much they are charging. So that is also charged. And the cost of so it's a fixed fee based on revenue usually. So you sometimes you have to check before check with the revenue actually generated by those loyalty program members and record these expenses in your expenses. If the loyalty program is maintained in-house, there is again a provision which is also charged in even if it's maintained in-house to this loyalty program, because from that provision, the the hotel would be managing their administration expenses and also the cost of redemptions. So in both the cases, whether it's in-house or a third-party loyalty program, there will be a fixed charge on based on revenue generated. the cost will be charged to this line. Then you have media, which is the cost of advertising on radio, television, which is nowadays very less, but certain bigger hotels are still spending money on the radio and television. Production cost of these advertisements as well as the display fees is going to be charged to this company, to this department. The pay-per-click and telephone directories will also be charged to this line. So Google Ads, the cost of Google Ads, cost of generating them will be charged in this line. Then you have operating supplies, which is general operating supplies of the sales and marketing department, like office things, notepad, and everything else. So it's nothing much. Outside sales representation companies are charged in this line separate outside representation. So you may have sales representative for Russia, for Europe, for US. So there may be fixed fees, and sometimes they are charging fixed fee plus a certain percentage on the revenue generated by them, plus the reimbursement of the trade show or the events or the traveling agent, traveling companies, traveling cost also will be in this lines. So the traveling cost will be separated in will be recorded in separate lines. The trade show cost will be recorded in trade show lines. This outside sales representation fee is only the fees and commission that we are paying. Any of your hotel is having outside sales representation or is just in-house teams?
It's all in
So,
domestic, in the domestic region. It's nothing outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, sometimes these small hotels, because they may not have the global reach like other bigger companies, Accor, Marriott, and other things. So they are normally hiring the outside sales representations because they still want to participate in the trade shows, in the the road shows in Berlin, in Dubai, in China. But if they send the in-house team,
So
like
a
your
question.
domestic team, the cost is super high, right? So they normally hire the sales representation companies to save that cost. Plus, they don't have to pay a fixed salary to the person. Um,
sir,
Got you.
outside the
Actually, I was about to ask
sales,
that itself. I
uh,
was just about to ask that what if it is a representation company and not an individual?
yeah. So representation company is the that's the outside representation. If there's an individual, it means you are charging on a contract basis, right? So it depends on the nature of the contract with the guy. If the guy is working solely for hotel, like one hotel only, like on a contract, then it will be charged to the labor cost. But if it's professional
So like,
and is representing
uh,
multiple hotels,
mhm.
yes.
so outside sales representative, including
Sorry,
sales offices of,
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
okay, sorry, outside sales office representative, which includes it will includes the sales offices of the hotel.
No, that's not the sales office of the hotel. It's just only the third parties, which are not employees of the hotel.
So,
Okay, noted, sir.
sir, a question for a representation company, like for example, like preferred hotels.
Yeah.
So they represent not only in terms of sales. Like I mean, they will also have their GDS codes via which we are marketed. So how do we distinguish the expense that is towards sales and marketing from the overall representation expense?
But those the fees that we are paying to the preferred hotels, like because they are not only on the sales side, they are more on a like booking engine and also providing the marketing, right? So those costs are different, and I would probably have to see. I don't think we have dealt with them in the past, but I guess they would be charged to the franchise and
Like a
affiliation
breakdown.
marketing because you are using their brand name to sell your hotel because you are like part of their hotel, right? So the preferred hotel, the choice hotel, sometimes they just do only the sales and they just only take the sales and marketing. So they onboard the hotel on their platforms and they are selling those hotels, right? That's what you are referring, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So those are, I think,
Yes.
the
Yes.
franchise and affiliation marketing fee, not the sales representation. So sales representation, usually there are specific agents and companies who are their job is just to do the sales representation. They don't do marketing or they don't do the distribution. They don't do anything else. Their job is mainly surrounding the contracting. So they would find the agents who are leading in your in the area of your property, and they will sell your property to them and do the contracting for you. They may reach out to the corporates on your behalf and present your hotel as your agent. So they will not be, I mean, they can represent their own brand as well, but primarily they will be your hotel, they will act your employee as your employee. So they will carry the card. Usually, like when we hired a sales representation company, so we provided them with a card with our visiting cards, which were both logos, the company logo and also our hotel logo. So whenever they visit the property, visit any agent or corporate or trade show on our behalf, they will be using that visiting card. But sometimes the like bigger agents, bigger representatives, they attend the trade shows on behalf of multiple hotels, right? So in that case, they normally will allocate the cost to everybody else. Then and they will tell, okay, how much I am representing to this hotel. So their job is just to attend the trade shows, do the contracting, do the sales visits on behalf of the hotel. So hotel can normally they choose their own clients and they go to them by themselves. They don't. The hotel is not choosing the clients to visit. But sometime in the contract, they mention that if the hotel wish us to visit to any particular client for them, then they will also do that on the hotel behalf without charging additional. But the traveling fee and other things are charged extra usually if the hotel is specifically asking for any client visitation. Right? Is it clear? Clear, no? So there will be three type of distribute sales that the hotels usually employ. One is their own peoples stationed overseas to visit the places. Then they have outso oops. Hello?
Hello. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
where did you miss me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So where did you lost me? Is it clear the concept of overseas outside sales representation?
Yes, sir. It is clear.
Okay. Yeah, so I was explaining that usually there are three type of contracts, right? The sales representation. One is your own outside peoples, where you have stationed them overseas or in any region based on your own payroll. So the cost will go to the labor cost. Then there are outside sales representation office from the group. Like if you are part of Accor, you don't need to have a outside sales because they have their own sales representation office in every country, right? and that the cost of doing that is usually covered in the overall marketing fee and the advertising fee that they are charging as a part of the hotel management contract already. Then the third aspect is the you hire sales representation agencies that is doing job on your behalf, but they are also representing the other hotels in the region or in that region or any other region, and visiting the clients on your behalf, attending the trade show on your behalf, and doing the contracting on your behalf, right? Then there are other type of arrangements like the preferred hotels, the choice hotels. There are, I think, many other brands now, soft brands, which is they are not providing the hotel management services. They are just providing the a platform for bookings and marketing and sales. So usually you subscribe to their platform, they will sell your hotel, they will put there on their distribution systems, and you will get the booking. So you are going to pay a fee for that. So that usually will be charged to the franchise and marketing fee, affiliation marketing fee, not to this department. So this is only for purely third party agencies who are working on your behalf, right? And then you sometimes hire outside marketing services for marketing research. So you may be getting a survey for demographics, for characterizing, for so usually the cost are these services are provided by Hotel Intelligence, STR, Travel Click, or now there are new companies as well who are providing these similar services like Zotel, hospitality, HVS. So there are many companies who are providing these market research companies. So they will analyze your property and see what market you should be targeting so that you can get the maximum customers for your hotel. Then you have outside signage, which is usually the billboards, posters, readers, highway boards.
Sir, s-
Yes.
s- sorry, sir. One question.
Hmm?
So this outside service marketing research, it includes travel agents also, like Trivago, Booking.com, Agoda.
If they are providing the market research services, then yes. But if it's just only the booking fees, like a booking commission, then it's not going to be costing here. It will go to the rooms department commission expenses. But if yes, booking.com is charging, if it's providing you any market research, like a subscription based on subscription, they will send you some reports, then yes, that cost will be here.
Noted, sir.
Then you have the outside signages, which is usually the hotels are providing. So it includes the municipal fee, printing fee, installation fee for these billboards, and any maintenance which is related with this maintenance, right? So there may be major damage after a typhoon, so you may have to repair that. The cost of maintenance will also be in this line, not to the repair maintenance. Then you have photography, which is usually the hotels are hiring professional photographers. So the photographer will also be include the cost of their traveling. If you are hiring any professional photographer from overseas or the crew, the cost of those models, if they hire a new model, if they bring the drones, if they bring the equipments, the cost of transportation, and the professional fee that you are paying for the photographer will also be included in this line. So all the cost which is related with the photography will be in this line.
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
If it is included in the package, the room package,
Means
if the photography is included in the room package, a
so
package,
that's the cost of guest services, right? Means you are charging the guest.
yes,
So that is
any
different.
expenses related.
Then the expenses of those will go to the rooms department under miscellaneous line. So this photography is only the hotel photography, which is used for the hotel for its marketing purposes.
Okay, sir.
If the hotel has hired any photographer as a part of the room package where you are selling the room and saying that by staying the room, you will get a nice photo or album of your pictures in the hotel. Cost of that is going to be in the rooms because the revenue is allocated there. Or if you
Okay,
have created a separate department for that, like a photography department, then the cost of that will also can be going into that particular department, other operating revenue. Wherever the revenue is going for that photography, the cost will also go the same place. But this
noted,
photography
sir.
is only for our internal
Promotional videos.
promotional and publicity programs, not for the guest.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir.
Then you have postage and overnight delivery charges, which is usual. Now the promotion cost is another bigger line in the hotel expenses, which is the cost of goods or services provided by any individual to promote the property in the community and the industry other than media advertising. So it can be the entry fees to the event, it can be the sponsorships, or it can be the client appreciation parties. So those costs will also be included in the promotion. So it is basically anything to do with the marketing, with the PR of the hotel, to be able to provide like a brand awareness, and also the interaction with the appreciation via appreciation. So that's is not sales, is not a direct marketing or advertising. So it's just only a promotion, the brand promotion, right? So that's the cost of those things will go here. So here you will see there are quite a lot of cost which seems to be interconnected, right? So there may be promotion, and promotion can be considered sometime as advertising or a fee of trade show. So the fees to attend a trade show is going to another line called trade shows here. And when you are attending the trade show, you are spending money on traveling. The cost of that traveling will be going into traveling line. So it's not going to be combined into the trade show. So usually what happens is when the accountants are looking at the expense claim of the sales and marketing department, so they will say, okay, now the sales and marketing department has gone to, let's say, a China trade show. So the cost of attending the trade show was X, the cost of attending the staying in the hotel was Y, the cost of meal and entertainments or taking part in the group dinners was Y, Z. So what they normally do is they combine everything and put it in one line, either trade show or traveling or wherever, right? But the usually is requiring to recognize these costs separately. So it's trade show separate, traveling meals and entertainment separate, and traveling others as a separate line item. So it's not combined, it's three separate lines. Sometimes it's confusing. So it's just the practice and the training that is required for the accountants when they are processing the claims from the sales department. Uniform laundry is similar cost. Then you have website, the cost of developing the website and maintaining the website, the registration fees, the producing the virtual tours, content management, creating the contents, and also the new medias, social media, search engine optimization, dynamic landing page management, response cost to third parties, TripAdvisor online marketing plan, everything related with the digital marketing on our platforms, the website is going into this line code. So I think I mistakenly said in the earlier that the cost of search engine optimization will go to the marketing. No, where did I say it will go? If yeah, it's if the company is hired like a freelancer to do the SEO, then I said the cost of that will be going into the contract services. But actually, it because it's a specific mention that the cost of such services is gonna go to the website. So the cost of that search engine optimization will go to the website. So usually you hire third-party agencies to do these tasks for the management. Then in the website, usually you have a maintenance, you have a domain name, you have the hosting fees of the website, and the maintenance fee of the on the website, plus the any other things that you are putting on to the website, developing the contents, writing the content, The photography is not going to be here. Photography to put the photos on the website, the cost will go to photography if you are hiring a agency for that. And then connecting it with the TripAdvisor or online marketing planners or the review companies. The cost of that maintaining the website is going to be in this line code, so that you know how much you have been spending on your website in total. That's the purpose of this. Any question on the website?
No, sir.
So the
Straightforward.
website, which means like hotel websites,
Yes, hotel website.
which is published.
Yes.
Okay.
Hotel may have their main so the website is also of various types nowadays. There is a main website where you have all your contents, your brochures, your photos, your descriptions. Then there are something called microsite, which is a smaller site, which is just only for made for a specific purpose, right? So they are not really the main landing page. They are purpose built microsites. Then sometimes there are landing pages. Dynamic landing page means if you come on to the website from US, you will see a certain page. If you come on to website from Asia, you will see another page. If you come from Russia, you will see a Russian page. So there are different pages. Sometimes you make the pages different pages based on the interaction or the users. If you are a repeat user, you will see a different landing page. If you are a new user, you will see a different landing page. So it's a different, and sometimes they make the different promotions. Let's say they are making a green season promotion when they send a letter to the guest. So and when they are clicking on the website link, they will be directed to another landing page, which is just only the green season. So there are different type of websites nowadays. I mean, different type of technologies for creating the landing page, microsites, and other websites like within the website. So it's quite complicated, quite technical, but the idea is the cost of all those things like subscription, because usually there are softwares. You don't have to create a landing page all the time, so there are softwares which are managing the landing pages for you. There are software which is managing the microsites for you. The cost of those softwares and the subscription will also go into the cost of websites.
So one question here, for the booking engine that is implanted into the website, like third-party booking engine resource, that if they're charging like, for example, like a company like Access Rooms, they charge like a fixed commission 3% or something per booking. So where would that go? Sales and
That
marketing?
no, that would go to the rooms expenses in the commission or in the
Oh,
reservation.
oh, okay. It's a reservation, but reservation on the whole under which criteria? Sorry, category.
It will be in the rooms department has a room reservation cost.
So under sales and marketing,
No,
under
no,
reservation,
under rooms expenses, under
it,
rooms expenses, room department. So it's a room departmental
okay, okay,
expense,
okay.
not the here. So it's the cost will go into the rooms reservation cost. Yeah, here in this line reservations.
Sir, can't see.
You
Uh,
cannot see?
I think my screen is frozen.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think my screen. Now I can see. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you said, sir?
The in the reservation line, in the reservation line.
Okay. Okay, and how about the payment processing charges for the booking engine, like credit card fee?
Those are credit card fees. So they're gonna go into the administrative and general. So there is a credit card processing
I'm
fees
sorry.
in the administration and general ANG.
Okay, even though it is associated to the website, on the whole, it will
Yeah,
be under that
because a credit card is like an
header.
online payment processing charges, like so it's basically like credit card commission.
Oh, okay.
So it will be going into the Credit card collection, credit card commissions. Because usually, I mean, there is no specific account code for paying to like PayPal. If your booking engine is being, so usually the booking engine is the payment collections on the booking engine is powered by banks. Banks are powered by the credit card companies, right? But nowadays there are other fintech companies which are coming in and providing the support, like Stripe, like PayPal, which is also powering the booking engines for many companies. But ideally, mostly is the credit card commission. But since there is no provision separately for the PayPal or the Stripe or any other fintech company, the because the concept is the same, is basically the facilitation of payments online, which is the same as the credit card credit card companies. So the cost will be going into the same line, the credit card collection expenses, credit card commissions.
Noted, sir. Noted. Thank you.
Okay, then there is
Sir,
another, yeah, yes, please.
sir, one more question.
Yes.
The cost of visiting card or a business card of sales staff, sales and
Mm-hmm.
marketing staff, it will be categorized under
Operating supplies.
collateral material,
No, no, operating
operating
supplies.
supplies.
Yes, yes. Collateral is usually
Uh,
which you
and
give to the guest as a hotel information, not the personal information, like a
like
property. Hmm?
in Shangri-La there is in Shangri-La there is a
Hmm.
golden circle.
Ah,
We used to print a golden circle letterheads, so
hmm.
it will be categorized under collateral materials.
This one is golden circle letterhead is basically the guest supply because it's used by the guest and there is no information. The property
Okay,
information is not there, right? You are not printing it for promoting your property. Is for the guest to write down or to use by themselves. So the cost will go to the guest supplies.
okay, sir, noted. One more question I have, sir.
Hmm.
Like miss on checks, like
Based on checks.
complimentary meals.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. If sales and marketing entertains any like group heads
Hmm.
or FOC guest, it will be categorized under complimentary services or it will be in fam trip if it is an
In-house
individual guest.
entertainment in-house because the
And
Amazon checks basically are the consumption of F&B in the hotel, right?
yes, sir.
So that will be there is a code for that entertainment in-house. Entertainment in-house. So that will be considered as entertainment in-house.
Okay, okay, sir.
Saf, you were asking something.
No, sir. I was asking about that payment processing and the booking engine. That's all.
Mhm. Okay. So is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, sir.
absolutely.
From my
Noted
side.
all points.
Okay. Yeah. So that was all the sales and marketing expenses. So now you will be seeing that there is some inconsistency between what I am explaining and what you reading in the usually and what your hotel might be practicing, right? So the you just have to go by the overall understanding of the expenses because it's not gonna matter if you book the expenses into one or the other account head. The expenses will remain there in the sales and marketing. The only thing you have to be really, really careful is that the rooms department expense is not going to sales and marketing, and sales and marketing expenses are not going into the other department expenses. So that's important to monitor. The other, if you put one line to another line, is not the end of the world. The only thing is it has to be consistent. So if you are putting, let's say, the combining all the expenses on the training, traveling, meals, and everything of the trade show into the trade show, so you just have to be consistent so that year on year, when you are comparing the cost of the trade shows, you know what you have spent and how much you are going to spend now, or are you saving anything or you are overspending. So consistency is pretty important. If you are changing the definition as per usually, then you have to change the prior years as well, or have to take a note. If you follow the same accounting principle, what would have been the cost last year? So that's quite important to note. Okay. Then there is property operation and maintenance expenses. Again, this department has also been quite a major overhaul from the standard practices that we followed before 11th edition of usually. So there are many things, many new line codes introduced in this department as well. So let's go through that, and then we will be able to at least finish the whole part. The next, then tomorrow we'll be revisiting the entire usually, including the non-operating expenses, balance sheet, and other supporting statements. So you will be getting a complete overview of what is usually, so that its dots are connected. So the property maintenance expenses again is divided into usually three parts. So one is the labor cost, other is the maintenance cost, and the last is the utilities cost. Right. So the first part is labor cost, which is pretty simple and straightforward, as you will we have noticed in all other departments. Salary and wages of the in staff. So here the management would be only the director of engineer, preventive maintenance engineers, chief engineer, duty engineers. So those engineers are going to be the management. The rest of the other staff, plumbing, maintenance, and M&E, all will be into the non-management staff. So sometimes hotel is specifying into the separate departments like preventive maintenance department, regular maintenance department, landscaping department separately, right? So that they know how the department is pretty much structured, and it's easy to compare the cost instead of saying everybody as a maintenance department. The other lines are contracted and lease services. Usually, the maintenance department are hiring the contractual agencies for carrying out the preventive maintenance of the guest rooms, depending on their in-house capabilities. That cost will go into this line, contract lease services, if they hire the contract maintenance contract agency like company who is providing the equipment and the tool. But if they hire only few contract agents, like hire the labor on 6 month payroll and processing their salary on the hotel payroll, then the cost will go to salary and wages. So it depends how they are paying to those people. The other cost, bonus, salary, payroll related expenses are same as any other department. So we are not going to discuss that. Now, the other expenses, which is the core of the maintenance department, again is into the buildings. So anything related with the building maintenance is going to be charged to this expense. Now, building is everything, right? So anything which is fixed into the building. So the thumb rule will be whatever is related with the building. So building, the concrete, the fixtures fixed into the building, like the cladding, wooden claddings, the wiring, the plumbings inside the building. Those will be part of the building. But if let's say you are changing the wire or electrical system in the building, then the cost will not go as a building. The cost will remain go to the plumbing, which is we have a separate line code for that. So we will go through first all of them, then we will see if there is any confusion left. But um, but for the now, you just say that okay, whatever is the fixed cost of building, fixed cost of the concrete and the wooden part, which will be it will the cost will go to the building if it's maintenance of the building. Then you have cluster services, which is usually the cluster director of engineering or maintenance engineering or fire life safety engineers are going around and doing the services. then sometime the corporate office will charge for that. So that's the cluster service. Contract services for operating and maintenance, we have if we have hired specific agents for that, then the cost will go into this department. Then you have the electrical and maintenance equipment. So these are the maintenance equipments and electrical equipment. So it can be in the kitchenware. It can so if it's not specify in the other specific department like elevators, escalators, supplies, then it will go into this. So it can be in the kitchen. It can be in the any other like any other area, housekeeping departments. Those equipments are if there is a cost of repair, then it will go here. But first you have to see the other line codes if they are fit into other line codes. If they don't fit any other specific line codes here, then the cost will go to this department. So you can say this is like a residual department, a residual line of code. Then you have elevators and escalators. So the cost of elevators, escalators, you have fixed maintenance charges plus the ad hoc maintenance charges will be here. So sometimes the biggest line item expenses which I have seen in the elevators is the rope changing, right? Elevator has the rope and sometimes the body of the elevator. So that the cost of the rope changing is usually a capex because that's the life is about 10 years to 15 years. But if there is a major repair in the cabin or just only the rope, some ropes are just tighten up or cutting and fixing, then the change is not there. Then the cost will still be in the repair maintenance department. So that's the elevators and escalators. Engineering supplies, the small tools which you are buying, like your nail screwdrivers or the clutchers, those costs will be charged to the engineering supplies, your ladders and small things. Then you have entertainment in house. If the engineers are entertaining somebody, but they do hardly, they never treat anybody except some customers, some suppliers. Equipment rental is quite a lot in engineering department because they hire equipment, sometimes the crane, sometimes the high ladder machines to reach on the top because the hotel may not have them. So if they are hiring temporarily, then the cost will be going into equipment rental. Otherwise, if it's a permanent thing, then the cost will go to non-operating expenses. Then you have floor coverings, which is the floor coverings will it include carpet? Do you think?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the anything which is covering the floor, right? So the cost of material contracts to repair the floor covering. So it could be the wooden floor like the parquet or the carpet or the other materials. Usually you have the plastic or vinyl on the floor. So that will be covered in this floor covering. And you have furniture fixture in the hotel, loose furniture. All the loose furnitures will be included in this line code. So it will be textile, fiber, any material, but it's furniture and fixture, furniture and equipment. Then you have also the TV, the in-room equipment, which are available in the guest rooms, like mini bars, light televisions, the hair dryers, or the air cons. Then you have ground maintenance and landscaping. So you have specific department for snow removal or maintaining the grass cutting or the plants and pots. So all those costs will be into the ground maintenance and landscaping. So you have a separate department for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So you have to see if the like say you can call it equipment, but actually because there is a specific line for air cons, heating and ventilation, then the cost of repairing those, whether it's a fixed repair or ad hoc repair, the cost will go into this particular line. Then you have a separate line for kitchen equipments and laundry equipment. So the other type of equipment, which is non-aircon, non-kitchen, non-laundry, then the cost will go into, then you will see first, is it a equipment like a normal equipment, furniture fixture, then you will furniture and equipment, then it will go there. Otherwise, it will go into electrical and mechanical maintenance. So that type of that's the hierarchy of seeing where the expenses should go. So this maintenance and this property maintenance in my experience is quite confusing uh, to for the people to follow, because they may charge something into the one year into the kitchen equipment, another month or another year it may go into furniture and equipment, right? So sometimes it's confusing because they are similar, very fine difference. Then you have fire life and safety things. So sprinklers, pull stations, floor switches, fire hydrants, those costs will be here. Some there are usually fire life safety audits by third party. The cost of that audit itself will also be in this line code. Light bulbs, light bulbs is light bulbs. Just cost of changing the light bulbs will be in the light bulbs. Operating supplies. Then you have paintings and wall covering. So we covered the floor cover. Now is painting and wall covers. So if you have wall covers, or if you're just maintaining a normal paint, the cost will go into this line. You have plumbing separately, which is covering out all the properties, plumbings, whatever it's drains, the bathroom fixtures, supply lines, everything into kitchen, in restaurants, everywhere in the property, excluding the sprinklers, because that's the life and safety thing. Then you have swimming pool expenses. Swimming pool is the cost of material, cost of chemicals and equipments. Sometimes you change the tiles in the swimming pool. Sometimes you change the underwater lights in the swimming pool. So those costs will also be into this line code, swimming pool expenses. Then you have vehicle repairs as a separate line item. So all vehicles will be into this line, and waste removal is a separate line code. So now you will see you have specific line codes for swimming pool, which is anything related with the swimming pool will go into this line. Anything related to do with the plumbing will go in this line. Anything to do and with the fixture of the repainting of the buildings or the floors or the walls, it will go into this particular line. And if you didn't find anything or you are still confused, you put it into miscellaneous. That's also possible. So you're not going to lose any expense. Then you have separate for light bulbs. Life safety is the preference over the other type of expenses. So repairing of floor smoke detectors or the engines, fire engines, the plumbings of the other things will go as a life and safety. So whether it can be classified as electrical and mechanical maintenance, but since the purpose is for life and safety, it will go into life and safety. So you have to see there are specific line items which you have to follow first, and then if those are not specific to those line items, if the expense is not specific to these line items, then it will go into these general account codes like engineering, electrical and mechanical equipments repairs, or the furniture and equipment repairs. So those are the and miscellaneous. So these are like catch all expense line items, which are if you don't have anything specific, if the expense is not related to anything specific mentioned already here, then the cost will go into those lines. Otherwise, the cost will go into the specific lines. Is that clear or confusing?
Uh, Getting the hang of it, just a question.
Yeah.
For those eco sustainability certifications that are routinely renewed, where does that one go?
Yeah, that's a good question. I also didn't thought of it. So the like the lead certification and the eco-friendly certification, right? There is
Yes,
no
that's the one. Yes.
yeah, there's no specific line for that kind of certification in this usually. So in that case, it would go as a miscellaneous.
Okay, noted. And what about, like, those things, those certifications have a lot of criteria. So, like, the degrees a unit, special treatment, and also anything extra that we are overheads in pursuit of that certification that we are incurring. Will that also go in miscellaneous, or
No,
it
no.
will go
That
to
will
the
go to the
criteria?
individual lines, individual line items.
Okay, which is being held to a certain standard of criteria. So
Correct.
that line
Correct.
item.
So the
Okay, okay.
miscellaneous will be only if, let's say, you are paying for a certification or paying for an audit, then it will go there. Otherwise, no. That reminds me another thing. Sometimes you have a building audit from the municipal, or every few years you have to take a building safety certificate from the government, and sometimes you have to call them in for audit. So the cost of that building audit or building certification will go in building cost. Like we saw the inspection of the fire life safety equipments, there is a fire life safety department who is doing these audits. The cost is going to fire life safety. But since we don't have any specific line for the eco-friendly or HACCP certification or the lead certification, the cost of that will actually go into miscellaneous department, miscellaneous expenses. Let me see if there is
Noted.
anything in the A and G. Just hang on. Maybe I didn't notice that earlier. That's a good question, actually. Thank you for highlighting. In the administrative departments, it's only audit, bank charge, central cluster, credit card, commissions, donation, due and subscription, equipment rental. No. Payroll professional fee. Let's see, professional fee might catch there. Sometimes the things catch up. Professional fee. Where is professional fee? Here. Cost of public accountants, other professional consultant, including attorneys. Example, no, not example. Consultant fee. No, this is general professional fee. So they are not the lead certification or HACCP certification or OSA certification. So those two three certifications, and usually they are actually taken care by the. I mean, it depends on property by property. Like HACCP and OSHAS is usually taken care by the engineering department, and leads is also taken care by engineering department, because there is a lot of repair maintenance needs to be done in order to achieve the minimum criteria of these things. So the cost of those audits and and consultancy is charged to the engineering department. So it depends on where the property is billing, because I didn't find any specific code for those kind of expenses in the usually. So it's a benefit of doubt. You can put it in the ANG, or you can put it under maintenance. So where you are putting at the moment? Are you putting somewhere?
So I wouldn't know. I'm just curious to know. I'll have
Ah,
to go back and check.
yeah, yeah, that's very good. But I'm certain that it would be charged to the maintenance department. But since there is no specific line for it, it would be going into miscellaneous.
Noted, sir.
But this is the cost of the audit only, not the repair of the, like, if the OSHA, if the leads come and say, hey, your ventilators or your air cons are not up to the standard, and they are emitting a lot of CO2, you have to fine tune them, right? So the cost of fine tuning that, or cost of repairing the air cons to achieve the standard, will go into the air con, okay, expenses, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment, not to the miscellaneous.
Noted, sir. Understood the relation.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
Sir,
the,
I have
yeah.
one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, usually is there any standard expense or item wise directory?
Yes, there is. At the end of this book, I will give you this as well. I think there's no basically it's the here, this one. We can see on the screen. Maybe I'm running too fast. This one. item name, department, and the account name. You can see that.
Yes, sir.
This is for revenue actually, and then you have same for expenses as well. Here, this is your expense. So expense guide selection section. So it's like, for example, accountant fees. Or let me see. Maybe there is something HACCP thing. Leads LED. No, it's strange. Okay, so these are the advertising expenses. You can see advertising, direct mail, where they will go, advertising for directories, including advertising in magazines, whatever line item. So you can just search them by the like bath mats, bath gel, where you're gonna put them, bath salts, bath bed sheets. So wherever these items are going, you will be able to see where these items go into the accountant. So these are prescribed by usually. You can follow them. Okay, I will give you this
So it can
this
be available in Excel. It can be
I
available in
you
Excel
can
also.
copy, yeah, you can copy and paste in Excel, no problem. It's simple. It's a table, so you can just copy.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah, I will give you the this Word file so that you can copy paste easily. Okay, but this
Okay,
is
sir. Thank
this is
you.
the copyright of usually, so please don't publish online. Huh?
Understood.
The book is a copyright of these AHLI. So you're not supposed to publish the book,
No,
but
no,
you can
no
use it
ways.
for your own purposes. It's actually the book is not in the Word format. I copy the ebook into the Word format one by one, one page by page.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, okay. I will give you this book. Don't
okay,
worry.
sir.
I'll
Thank
send
you,
you
sir.
this.
Thank you. Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
So the other part of the maintenance and utility department is the utilities itself. So utilities. So now utilities is you will know separately. By usually it's divided into electricity separate, gas, oil means the oil for burning, not for the kitchen oil or cooking oil. Huh? This is just only for maintenance of the property. Like if you're in US, you are burning the oil to keep the property warm. That oil is cost here, not the cooking oil. Then you have water, sewage, steam, chilled water. If you are buying chilled water, where usually the properties generate their own chilled water. If you are using any other fuel, and the contract services for utilities for providing the electricity or other type of expenses. So here is the definition. So electricity is clear. Everybody knows about it. It's come from the MEA, or you may be using the solar power. So if you are paying per unit charges of to a solar plant, then the cost it will be still be electricity because they are providing you a power, right? So whether it's generated by solar or by water or by coal or by the fuel or coming from the government or coming from a private, the cost will still be remain as the same electricity because you are getting the electricity, right? If you are buying the gas for not for cooking but for other purposes, then the cost will be going into the gas. Uh, you are buying generator oil, you are buying the anything else for heating the property, then the cost will go into this line. The water sewage, if you buy, the cost of clearing the water, clearing the sewage is the waste removal expense in the maintenance line that we have saw earlier. Here, the waste removal, I think we didn't discuss that, but the cost of removing the sewage is waste removal, but the cost of if you are paying anything for water and using the sewers, sometimes there is a charge for emitting the wastewater into the sewages. So you will be paying for that cost as well here. If you're buying the steam, usually there are boilers in the property to boil the water or chillers in the property to chill the water. But if you are buying them, then the cost will be into this line codes. Any other fuel, propane, kerosene, will be cost will be charged here, purchased from the outside producers. Oh, I didn't notice that. Cost of other fuel, for example, propane, kerosene, diesel, solar, and wind. The solar in wind is also in other fuels. Okay. So if you are buying solar energy, then the cost will be going into this line. Sorry, my error. In electricity, the cost of I didn't really read that earlier. Now I'm reading it in details. Okay, so the as per usually it seems like cost of solar and wind, if you're buying the wind power and you're buying the solar power, the cost is going into the other fuel. But if you're buying the electricity from the government, you don't need to worry about, you don't need to worry to know that it's coming from solar or wind. You just put that as electricity. But if you are coordinating with any specific third party agency, like there are nowadays solar companies who set up small mini solar power grids and they supply the power from the solar. So the cost of that solar is going to that electricity, the power is going into this other fuel. That's good. So you can know how effective you are in managing your things, your utilities. Then the contract services would be the if you are doing the energy audit or water reclamation, infrared detection for energy consumption. So those costs will also be going into this line item. So if you are doing any energy audit, then the cost will go to utilities. In the past, we used to charge this into maintenance department, but nowadays we have changed the. I mean, my hotel have not changed yet. We are still charging to maintenance. How about your hotel? You have the contract services in the utilities or no?
Wouldn't answer. I wouldn't know.
You want to know? Yeah. So it would be good to check. I mean, it would be interesting to check whether your hotel is following the contract services as separate into the utilities. But I guess uh, I doubt that they would be using it because it's quite new and not normal. Okay. And then
So
so yes.
yeah, this contact service including AMCs, all AMCs.
Yes, if it's for the providing the utilities, yes, it will.
Okay, sir.
So then that's the total utilities expenses. Then the last after that you will calculate the GOP from the in your if you see your main P&L, you will be having the all the departments. Then you have gross operating profit before management fee, and then you will calculate the management fee, and then you will have a gross operating profit after the management fee, right? So you are calculating gross operating profit before management fee because you have to calculate the management fee based on the GOP, right? Sometimes the management contract will have a base fee and an incentive fee. So base fee will be fixed on revenue, and incentive fee would be based on the profitability of the hotel. So if you have to charge them separately. So there is a fixed amount of percentage of revenue or profit to charge, and then if they achieve certain percentage, then they will get the incentive fee. So if let's say the fee is fixed as like 3% of the operating revenues and 5% of the profits, then that becomes the base fee, right? But if the contract also includes that if you achieve a profitability, the minimum standard of profitability is let's say 30%, and if you are able to achieve more than 30%, then you will be getting another 10% on additional profits. So that's called the incentive fee. So you're going to charge incentive fee into separate lines so that the hotel know how much is the base fee and how much is the incentive fee. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's usually where most of the disputes arise in the hotels, the calculating the incentive fee and also the management fee, because management fee based on both revenue and the GOP, and sometimes that's why the usually definitions are quite important to follow. because the management contracts will specify that you have to maintain books as per usually, and the definition of gross operating revenue and gross operating profits are defined in the management contracts. Nowadays, they don't define; they just say follow usually, as per uniform system of accounting for lodging industries. But some very old management contracts still have the clear definition of what is considered into revenue, what is be considered as a operating expense. So you need to look at the hotel management agreement. How is it drafted? Right, and then you have non-operating income and expenses. So non-operating income means they are income of the hotel, but they are not related with the operating departments or operating or normal operations of the hotel. So example, interest income on deposits or money lying in your bank accounts, or any other income like sale of assets, or you are renting out any part of the property, like billboards or retail space in the building, which is not part by the hotel, which is not managed by the hotel operations or not managed by the operator. So then the cost will be charged to this department or this line item, other income, which is non-operating income of the hotel. And then there's non-operating expenses like the rental is divided into land and building and other property and equipment. So here we have seen in equipment rental in our expenses, operating expenses, that if something is leased for a long time, then the cost will be going into the non-operating department. So this is where it's gonna come. So this usually includes the housing of associates. So for example, you have taken on a rent the housing complex how to house your GM, directors, and general employees, right? So the cost of that housing property is also going into this land and building. So not the housing allowance you are providing to the GM. The housing allowance provided to GM would be falling under the normal expenses of the property. But if you are renting a house from outside directly and the cost is paid by the hotel, then that complex or building is the rental is going to be charged to land and building um, lease, right? Rental, non-operating income. So that's why normally is called the reimbursement or allowance rather than the housing. Then you have other equipments such as like vehicles or copy machines. If they are rented for a long term as a part of the furniture fixture into the hotel, then the cost of those equipments will also be charged to this, not to the operating expenses. Because the idea here is that the owners normally have to provide all the accessories, equipments necessary to run the hotel into the to the operators, right? But if the owner has not provided the capex and the operator has to borrow the equipment from outside, means they have to pay the rental, then the cost of those rentals should not be part of the operating expenses of the hotel, because that will reduce their incentive fee and also reduce their base management fee. Right? You get the concept?
Yes, sir.
So
So if you are the owner's representative, you might want to see that the not a lot of rental is being charged to this property, and if you are working on behalf of the operator, like doing the audit, then you want to see that the rental of these long-term equipment is not charged to operating expenses. Then you can increase your operating profit.
Noted, sir. Noted.
Okay, and then you have the other like property and other taxes which you are paying to the government for building occupation or for any other taxes which is usually paid to government for doing the business or hotels. Then the cost will be charged to this department. which cannot be passed to the customers. If the things can pass to customer, then it will not be coming here. Otherwise, it will be charged to the non-operating expenses because they are necessary to run the business, not as a operating cost of the hotel. Then you have insurance, building and content insurance, and the general liability insurance, that like third party liability. In the past, the general liability policies, the fidelity insurance, and the employee insurance, these costs were actually charged to the administrative and general expenses under insurance department, under insurance cost. Now is charged to this line code, non-operating expenses. Then you have the deductible as well. If you have any insurance, but you have paid any damage, but the insurance has not covered that amount, then the cost also will be charged to this line item deductible, but still under insurance. Then you have cost recovery expense, which is the expense which you are recovering from a third party, will be recovered here. Gain loss on fixed assets. If you have sold any fixed asset and there's a expense or the profit, then the cost will go here. Owner expenses, the asset management fee or the receiver fee or the owner's utilization of the properties. So sometimes the owner expenses also, like the owner are giving any room for free. So up to a certain point, the operators can provide that. But if the owner is giving a lot of rooms for free of cost, then the operating cost is borne by the operating expenses. So usually they will charge out a certain cost and to the owner expenses. So that expense, even though the owner is forcing to the hotel operations, then the cost can go into this line, even if it's paid by the hotel. So if they are not, especially when they are not associated with the hotel operation, so owner using the property by themselves, or they give it out to, like they are doing their own wedding into the hotel, the cost of all that, if you are not charging the owner, then the cost will go into this owner expenses, not to the hotel general operating expenses. That usually happens, right? The owner is using the property for their own benefits as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
it
are you
happens.
so have, maybe you want to, you can see that how often is it, and if the cost is charged to the non-operating expenses.
Yes, it depends. If it is the management company, then they are charged. But
Hmm.
if it is
Owner
the
operating company, then it won't really happen, right? Because the it doesn't matter. But to really, if it depends on how frequent it is, and how is the how much is the extent of the usage. If it's a lot, then it will affect the GM's performance. If they are like HOD's performance, because their
true,
bonuses may depend on the profits.
true, true. Yes, there's a negotiated rate for that.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So so this, if there's a negotiated rate, then it's normal operating expense. Then you can't charge anything here. But if it's for free, then you can charge the cost of serving those kind of things. So like in our hotels, we have a lot of owner related expenses, because the owner want to give something to their friends, families. So they come and stay in the hotel, they eat, they drink. So and in a time it can be go as high as like a couple of $1,000 in a month. So we normally accumulate all the costs and charge them to the owner expenses, so that we know how much, so that in the owner, when then they are asking us why the profitability is low, we can explain. But since we charge them to non-operating expenses, our gross operating profit percentage are not really affected by that thing. So that's
Mm,
we have
yes.
been following. So if you have too much, then you can always follow this process. Okay, so these are the other non-operating income and expenses, and then finally you will get finally you will get the net profit, right? So tomorrow we're gonna discuss two more things. There's employee dining that we have discussed. I think we have discussed that employee meals and how we allocate that to the individual expenses. So we will just touch briefly on it and some other statistics reports that are left and the balance sheet. So then we will cover the standard, the hotel accounting standard completely. And then we will move over to the operational part of the hotel finance. Okay.
Sure, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
sir.
your
Thank you.
answer.
Yeah. Bye.